Hi everyone, this is Dr. Rick Seguil. I'm the founder of Herbal 411, and I'm going to walk you through the application process for the medical cannabis card in the state of Illinois. Now, there are two different cards. One is called the OAPP card, that's the 90-day card. I don't think that's worth it anymore, but it does give you an entry level to have a card at a lower price, but eventually going to have to pay for it in the long run for the big card. The big card is the 1, 2, or 3 year card that allows you to go to any dispensary in the state of Illinois, take advantage of lower taxes, and also have a wider variety of what is available. So let's walk you through it. This is my website, Herbal 411. If you look at the top, medical cannabis is a link in black. If you click on that, it takes you to the way that I do a lot of my consulting via the internet, and the Get Healthy app is internet secure, HIPAA compliant, and it's fairly easy to navigate. So if you click on the green bar, it takes you to the Get Healthy app, which either allows medical cannabis 1 to 3 year card or that other one, the OAPP card. Now, I don't do the OAPP card certifications anymore, but I did start them when I was working with Advocate in Bartlett. And for those patients that I initiated that with, I'll allow updates. But honestly, I would really invest more in the 1 to 3 year card. So you click on the Learn More in the 1 to 3 year card, and it gives you this. This secures an appointment session. It's a $200 fee. It's essentially an office fee, but I do far more than just what the average pot doc would give you for certification. I actually guide you through how to use properly medical cannabis products. And I know a lot of people think, you just have to smoke it and you're fine. No, there's a fine line between having too much of the psychoactive component, which gets you high, and not enough of the inflammation component. Now, if you just use the flower, you get about 144 different cannabinoids in the flower, and depending on how the cultivators in central Illinois take care of the flower and process it, I mean, you can use the old fashioned way and say, I just want to be stimulated with sativa. I want to go to sleep with indica, but that is so outdated. Nowadays, cultivators can fine tune, meaning boost up a terpene, take away a terpene. They can actually make a sativa behave like an indica. Now, if you don't know about those two terms, then definitely you should learn a little bit before you go to dispensary, because there's different effects, and the strains and the terpenes that are found in these plants are spectacular. But in the state of Illinois, actually in the United States, there's no great data because it's still considered a Schedule 1 drug that shows no benefit and high addictive value, and that's just false. Israel has proved this for several decades, and they have invested government funds to research this thing properly. So they can put together heat maps of the plant as far as the components, and then heat maps of different cancers in Israel, and they can match up one heat map to another and tell you exactly which plant or strain is useful for the type of cancer. I mean, that's spectacular. If we would have that, no, well, anyway, so you just click on the continue, and you get to this, and it says either video or a phone call. I just put video call, and then you click on confirm, and it gives you a date. So the circles 27th, 28th, 29th, those are the days. Today's the 26th, so I'm going to pick 6 p.m. evening. And once you do that, there's the data entry stuff, and then the card down below. Again, this is internet safe. Now, when you have that card, or at least when we approve you, I will give you this thing. This is phase one. And listen, most people will actually make all the qualifications for having the physician authorization completed, but we have to keep that in case I or you ever get audited. We have to keep it in your Get Healthy chart. So this is a 3-page form. I'll upload it to your Get Healthy account. If you look at that big blue bar here, it says you pass the physician authorization phase, upload the PDF, which is that highlighted secure area there. Yeah, upload that to your computer, and then you get on the IDPH MCPP website, because they're going to ask you for it. And this is the website. So I'll put a link down below on the next phase. And that obviously is internet secure, but this is just the registration portion. And then you go in. I had to read out. I actually got my card. I just recently got my card. My physician, Pat Massey in Elk Grove Village, approved me, and I did qualify. And I just screenshotted how I went through this. So this is the first in establishing or registering. And then it gives you the typical things, secure questions, and then a password. And then it gives you this. And now I'm already a caregiver for a few other patients of mine. So if you look on the left side, it says I can't do it there with regards to a license. I'm a caregiver, so I can't do that, but it allows me qualifying patient, that third bar down, start, and or terminal patient. I'm not a terminal patient, I'm a qualifying patient because of fibromyalgia. So I hit that start, and then it takes me to the just the beginning of the application process, which is the introduction. Just press the bars. I have to put 1, 2, or 3 years up above as far as registration. And you click the bar down below, not the red one, but the next bar that's grayed out. And it'll take you to the questions and answers portion. And it's pretty self-explanatory. It's really easy, honestly. Even for before, it was a terrible process. I would have to send patients to the dispensary, and the dispensary did give outreach people. They had outreach people employed to help people walk through the application process, but it was so painful. I just talked to a patient of mine who she spent like 3 hours there one time, and at the end, after all the data, the state's website kicked it back and said, you do not qualify, which is terrible. But now again, I'm walking you through this. So, and I had to read out all my data, but again, it's really easy. So once you complete and follow through every of the checked boxes and your name and continue clicking next, it'll really just, this is the next page where if you have a Social Security or Disability Act under your name, you do get a discount, which is pretty cool. So you can see the prices in the middle of the sheet. You just have to upload the document somehow that you might have screenshotted to prove that you have that. And then again, step by step, this is Dr. Massey, he's my doctor. And then it'll ask you to upload your PDF form, which I had already. He certified me, so had that on my computer. I uploaded that to the state's website. And then they'll ask you for proof of residency and identification, which is essentially a passport or a license, driver's license. So you do have to have an Illinois driver's license. I have a patient who is from Wisconsin, but could not approve. So we had to try to, because I really thought that patient would benefit from this. And Wisconsin, I think, is illegal or hasn't, they haven't approved medical cannabis yet. And that's a couple different states. But if you have any contacts in the state of Illinois and you're watching this from outside the state, then have your contacts contact me. And if they qualify, I'll get them the card. Now, you're not supposed to ship or drive medical cannabis products outside of state lines. It's considered a felony, I believe. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not suggesting that anybody break the law. However, next time you're in Illinois, if your relative who has been approved wants to gift it to you, that is legal. You can give a medical cannabis product as a gift. But again, taking it on a plane or taking it in a trunk of a car, you have to be careful. Anyway, so this is the selection of dispensary. After I've uploaded everything, I picked Zenleaf because it's the closest one to me. There's also Verilife, and there's Mindful, and there's Triple C in Naperville. There's a couple different places around the area. I just picked that one. And then this is the almost to finish complete. This just says that I did everything and it's all me. And then it goes, the final page is saying that, are you going to pay this? I chose the 3-year card, which is a $50 discount. I just happened to do that because I thought it would save some money. And then you get approved. So this is your proof of payment. Then after you get the proof of payment, within 24 hours, in some cases 1 day, you get this thing called Provisional Access Card. It's not really a card, it's just a print up sheet. So what you have to do with this thing is, this is your this is your card. In the meantime, I printed it up, I put it in a folder, and I take it with me because you have to submit to, when you go shopping, you have to submit to the dispensary your license and then this proof. And again, this is provisional access until you get your actual card. So I recently got my card, and here's my card, January. So this is going to be a great year for me, I hope, because 2020 has sucked. But that's my card down below, and you peel that off and you carry it with you. And the cool thing about the card is that, again, this gets you into any dispensary in Illinois, but you have to get onto the state's website, the IDPH website that we just went through. And if you want to change, for example, that Zenleaf indication, you can change dispensary. If you want to go shopping, you can't just walk into a dispensary. You have to actually change it on the state's website, and then it goes into the database, and then your card gets approved wherever you go. And honestly, you can change it within an hour. You just have to get on the state's website. So hopefully that gets you guys the ideas, and maybe you're going to test it out. But one thing that I would caution anybody on is that if you're using it for recreation, then that's fine. Save some money, don't get intoxicated. But listen, think about the medicinal value of this plant. Now, and I'll go into that with right now. If you're using this to curb some of the crap that you're suffering from, the disease process, I have several patients that are on their way to chemotherapy, and I think there's great value in the wise use of this in addition to chemotherapy, in addition to nutrition, in addition to all the other things that help with beating cancer. But you can also use it for arthritis. You can also use it for high blood pressure, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndrome, rash. Again, like I said before, PTSD. But you have to be careful about the way you use it because there's those the 144 cannabinoids that you'll find in the plant. Well, that they have different actions, as I mentioned before, but I think that the ultimate goal is to have success. Number two, not be high all day or intoxicated. Number three, not spend $1,000 a month. And number four, also work it into the other portions of your life. It's called the ensemble effect. The ensemble effect is the effect that the medical cannabis plant has on your life, your biologicals, in addition to what you eat, how you exercise, how you fast, how you sleep. If the ensemble effect is maximized, then you maximize longevity. And if it's not, I mean, you can take away the suffering, but it's a shame that you might not be taking advantage of this plant and healthy living. So that's why I put together the mixture cannabis coaches team that I belong to, and we give advice. This is if you go to cannabis education as part of my youtube.com/herbal411 website, I put out videos on unboxings. I have several cannabis coaches that we work with in a company we started called Mixture, where we just give advice on how to utilize this great plant because it's out there, but it's also very confusing. And if you ask the dispensary guys, they don't have time to really teach you anything. They're not supposed to teach you about medical disease, but they have about 2.5 to 5 minutes to guide you as far as what product is popular. But you have to be careful because sometimes popular is totally different than what is on backlog and what they have to get off the shelves. So, like any business, if you have a lot of stock, you want to move the stock. So sometimes the tendency would be to suggest clearing the stock, no matter what the disease is or no matter what the client is looking for as far as effect. So I don't think a lot of dispensaries are intentionally doing that, but it's just a business. So to learn how to use this plant, you have to educate yourself. And there's great books out there, Cannabis Index. There's great websites. I like Leafly. Aunt Zelda's is spectacular out of California with regards to the data that they're putting together. And they're funding the data research. But again, until we get this off Schedule 1, we have to depend on independent investors to do the data and prove that this plant can be used properly. So hopefully this gave you a little bit of an idea. Go over to my website, Mixture, if you're still on the fence, and you can consult one of us, the coaches, to help guide you as far as whether it would be a worth the investment or not. Or if you already have a card, even if it's not from us, we can still give you guidance because again, the pot docs that are out there, they just certify, charge. I've seen some doctors charge $300 and they just fill a form out and send you on your way, and that's not right. So you can always consult us if you have a problem. Again, research and learning is really important. If you want to be a good chef, you have to learn the ingredients in the kitchen, how to use the burner. If you want to be a good patient and or have longevity and introduce this plant, you technically have to be a good medical cannabis chef, and that means you have to learn about the ingredients. So we can teach you, or you can learn online. Thanks for watching up until this point. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with other people who are suffering because they might be apprehensive, especially the older ones. The baby boomers, they think about Jerry Garcia or Cheech and Chong, and they think it's just for getting high, and it's not for that. In fact, I had a video where Tommy Chong gave me a thumbs up, and he uh, wished me well with regards to my business, and that was pretty cool. See if I can put the link down below too. So anyway, happy shopping, be wise, kick some ass with regards to lifestyle. Thanks for watching.